It was an unknown time frame where one could travel from one continent to another, but due to constraints on humanity and its planet, people were poor. One such community, one residing somewhere in Russia, of Turks, Persians, Jews, Ukrainian, and other cultures, decided to find new friends in US. She was quiet and hesitant, and her best friends were guys who understood women that liked talking but listened. He was found by her bodies, handsome, young, and full of great expectations, ready to follow directions, listen, and make fish. Not a lot of money in the family, but seemed slightly strange, and so was she. Perfect match. Honest competition, and if one were to take chances, why not them? After many hours of perspective from adults, she found herself with a guy who didn't speak her language. Came home and bought sturgeon from a man in a butcher shop. She thought it was early to start with black caviar, but never did let them return the fish. Sturgeon slightly dry, but its eggs with a bit of salt and oil, sour cream, taste divine. Her sailor had a unique quality. He didn't mind cutting fish. An air of 1930s filled their house and the neighborhood. There was a strange connection between a guy who sold sturgeon to him. He spoke her language, and one day she asked her husband to translate some words. Like most Russian women, she didn't want to lose the opportunity to get married, her chance to find a person she could quietly sleep as an adult and then grandmother. She was used to a game of preference at home, philosophical conversation, love, art, technology, and robotics seemed to be the only future in the world. He, of course, too young, was less leverage, but a strange uncle who contemplated that women in general were headless, and his child should settle for a simple solution, making a woman into a telephone, but not take going gay himself. All this accomplished with funny drawings, and the heroine was intrigued by a new family. It was a funny culture. She was just a woman, but liked being an equal, and so headless was out of the question. But how to explain politely such funny circumstance? That her husband accidentally picked the right choices, and his uncle was just the right mystery to make life fun. Years went by, and kids grew up, and then grandkids, and they found old drawings of an uncle that resembled Dali, and asked that a question. How did the two of you survive these? Our sailor remembered his wife and her confused look the first time he apologized profoundly. Cold Siberian river went through her veins, and then warm Russian kissing. That if never tried, you never met a Russian woman in your life. Moments with her husband. She was afraid to let go. Unfriendly competition is always around the corner to explain why they are a better match. He looked at his grandkids and said, "Your grandmother is a Russian magician." Fooled even my best friend into complete submission.